what we saw this week in the burgeoning confrontation between the White House and the judiciary over the issue of deportations generally and the specific issue of one El Salvadorian permanent U.S. resident who was, by all accounts, deported, quote, in error, until Steve Miller said, no, that wasn't an error at all. But bring us up to date. Where do you think stand, and where's this going to go?
It's quite an extraordinary situation. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, he was living in Maryland. He was deported last month to this mega prison in El Salvador that the U.S. is reportedly paying El Salvador to house prisoners. It's called CCOT. Seems like a really quite dreadful place. But so basically, Bukele came to the White House. He was asked by a reporter, are you going to send him back? He's like, oh, no, I'm not going to send him back. Why would I send a terrorist back? And he and Trump are kind of gleefully sitting there. I think, Ivo, you described this as the second most extraordinary Oval Office meeting. Stephen Miller chimed in and kind of gave this, what a conservative Reagan appointee judge said was a bad faith interpretation of a Supreme Court decision, basically saying that the Trump administration had to work to get him home. There were two words they used, should and must, are the kind of like plain terms, not the specific legal terms, but basically they said that the administration should do everything they can to bring him home, but kind of stop short of must because they wanted to leave some room for the executive office to be able to do, foreign policy. And the administration, the president, Stephen Miller, his whole team has kind of taken what conservative legal experts and most legal experts say is a bad faith interpretation of this. Stephen Miller said in the Oval Office, this is a 9-0 victory for us, that they say we have the right to determine policy. So basically, they've been facing all these instructions from the court to report back on what they're doing to bring him home. And basically the answer is nothing. I've been covering the State Department in some form or another for more than a decade. This kind of thing, had it happened anywhere else, would be like completely condemned. You'd get your textbook statements from the State Department, you get, back and forth in the briefing room. Now it's kind of the US doing this. I just wonder what that means for the world, for the US. Where do we go from here?